Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is AJ and we are going to talk about the continuation of the last video. In the last video we discussed about what exactly is an abstract. As I mentioned earlier, there are people they're still using abstraction but actually they don't know how exactly it's working. So that is the reason we discussed about what is abstraction in the earlier video. But today we're going to talk about how we can achieve the particular abstraction. As I mentioned earlier, there are two different ways. First one is using an abstract class and then we can use an interface. Now something might pop up in your head. Okay, so abstraction is a single concept. Why do I need to have a different techniques to achieve that? The first one is abstract class and the second one is interface. Why do we need to go for abstract class? The reason if you're going for abstract class, it's kind of you're not looking for 100% abstraction, which means you may have some method without the body and you may have some methods with the body, combination of abstract method and a non-abstract method, that is called as a abstract method. Okay, so which means it's very evident. So when you have a method with a body, when you have a method without a body combined together, that is not 100% abstraction because I can have both kind of methods in the same class. So abstraction is a partial in the abstract class. But when it comes to interface, now you tell me, when it comes to interview, I mean in the interface, right? So we are not allowed to create a methods with the body. So you can write n number of methods, but all of them are going to be an abstract method. Have you noticed something? You are writing an abstract method in abstract class and you are writing the same method in the interface. You might have noticed something. When you're creating the same method in abstract class, we use abstract keyword. But in the interface, normally we don't mention the abstract keyword. The reason behind that, when you're using an abstract class contains abstract and non-abstract. So just to identify which one is the abstract method, which one is a non-abstract method, we have to provide the keyword as a abstract before the method. But in case of interface only allows abstract methods. So which means by default, all the methods are abstract in the interface. So you don't need to provide the abstract keyword over there. So that is the importance of interfaces. Now we know using abstract class what you can do, using interface what you can do. Okay, but after Java 8 there are certain changes happen in the interface area. So which means we can have methods with body in the interface itself. So we might be thinking like, oh, okay, how come it is possible? Which means, are we breaking the 100% abstraction if you're trying to introduce a new method with a body in the interfaces? Actually, we are not. In Java 8, from Java 8, we can have methods with the implementation, but there is a catch over there. That method only a default or a static method. So normal method are not allowed still in interface. And there is a next question. Why do I need to use a default method and why do I need to use a static method? We'll talk about that in detail in the next video, but anyway, I'll just give you a heads up. The reason why we're using static method, we all know that static method cannot be overridden. So that is the first choice. So the reason, if you're using my interface, either if you want, you can use my method or ignore it. Or another reason why we have a default methods in it. Let's say I want the additional functionality, so I can use the default method, but I want my own implementation. So since you have a default method, which means you are allowed to override the method, but it's not a mandatory. So normally when you create an abstract method in an interface, you have to provide the implementation in the implementation class. But if it is a default method or static method, you don't need to. So they are optional. If you want, use it. If you don't want, just skip it. And the only difference, static cannot be overridden and default can be overridden. Okay. In the next video, we'll talk about some additional detail about the interface. And till then, see you. Bye bye.